Recording is progress. 1, 2, 3, go. Recording is progress. Recording is progress. Some. ฮัลโหลมีคนเข้ามาแล้วนี่เป็นไงบ้างไม่ต้องเปิด
อันนี้
กล้องเนาะฮัลโหลครับว่าไง
สอบเขาสอบ Excel กันไปหมดแล้วหรือเปล่าครับ
มีเหลือกี่คนตอนนี้นะต้องเช็คก่อนว่าเป็นอย่าง
บอกว่าอันนี้ถ้าสอบใน British Council เราก็
เล่นได้
เอา certificate มายื่นให้อาจารย์ได้เลยใช่ไหมครับ
ใช่ครับ แต่ว่าต้อง contact กับหมายถึงว่าตัวคะแนนเนี่ยต้องส่งให้กับที่ข้างล่างชั้น 1วะไม่แน่ใจนะอาจจะต้องมีการ contact กับสักคนหนึ่งแต่ว่าส่งคะแนนมาให้อาจารย์ด้วยเพื่อเป็นการ make sure ว่าเรา report หรือว่า inform อาจารย์เรียบร้อยแล้วอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะฮะโอเค
ก็คือต้องให้อาจารย์แล้วก็ต้องไปให้อีกคนหนึ่งอยู่ดีใช่ไหมครับ
ใช่เพราะว่าคือมันจะถูก track ในระบบไงถูกไหมถ้า BC เนี่ยมันจะมีเหมือนไม่แน่ใจว่าใครเก็บคะแนนนั้นใช่ครับแต่ว่าก็มาบอกอาจารย์ได้ด้วยเหมือนกันอาจารย์รับผิดชอบวิชานะฮะหมายถึงว่าตัว ECP เนี่ยก็คือต้องยื่นอาจารย์ประจำวิชาอยู่แล้วครับอันนี้ไงทุกคนเข้ามาแล้วนะครับ How many of you 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8อืมครับ Okay shall we start for today class วันนี้มี present ไหมมีปะมีแน่เลย
มีค่ะอาจารย์มี
มีโอเคถ้างั้นเดี๋ยวอาจารย์ขออนุญาต stop screen ก่อนเดี๋ยวขอคนที่ present ยกมือให้หน่อยได้ไหมฮะokay all right now shall we start right first of all I have to make sure that all of you are here together via Zoom right yeah so the first step of all of you is that you have to check the attendance right into the line group so okay so I can say that you just write your name here. For example, like Dodo ใช่ไหมฮะ Dodo แหละครับ789 Okay that one just make sure that you check the attendance into the line group นะฮะไปเช็คชื่อก่อนเลยนะครับเข้ามาแล้วเช็คชื่อเลยนะ That's it ขอชื่อ I just want your name and ID student three number right three last digit number that's it okay I think all of us are here today on Zoom right yeah, so now just make sure that you check the attendance and I'm going to stop my screen first just because we're gonna have like a team presentation, right? Ready, right? Are you ready? Yes or no? ลองกดหนึ่งเข้ามากัน ready หรือยังถ้า ready กดหนึ่งเข้ามานะOkay. I think everyone's ready, right? So now I'm going to stop my screen first, and then some of you who have to do a presentation, you can share your screen here. Okay. Stop share.
just a moment นะคะอาจารย์แล้วคนที่พรีเซนต์ต้องเปิดกล้องด้วยไหมคะ
เปิดก็ได้ครับไม่เปิดก็ได้แล้วแต่เรา สรุปก็คือ
ขอบ
จะ
คุณ
เปิดไหม
ค่ะ
โอเคครับผม
อาจารย์เห็นหน้าจอไหมคะ
เห็นครับ Okay. Ready, right? Okay. Again, right, I just want to make sure how many of you who have to do a presentation here, just raise your hand for me, please. ลองยกมือให้หน่อยแล้วยกมือนี่ทำกันยังไงโอเคดีมาก All right. So if you're ready, so now it's time for us to listen your friend presentation here. Right? Shall we go? 1, 2, 3, go. ไปเลย
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Please let us introduce ourselves first. My name is shahidee.hatchman, or you can call me Onet. My last 3 digits are 566.
And my name is Panisupha Pitithanachaiwat, and my nickname is Nun, and my last 3 digits is 575.
My name is Patharapha Suler. My nickname is Bam. My last 3 digits are 586.
As you are aware, we have to study with those given topics, and tense is about what we have to present. So let's start with the first one. The first question: did anyone get killed in the accident at the bus stop? Fortunately, blank. As you can see, the pair of past perfect and past simple tense, past perfect with each subject had verb 3 is used for an action that happened before in the past. Past simple, which is subject verb 2, is used for a later action, as in the equation, did anyone get killed in the accident at the bus stop? And is replying is that fortunately, which is positive word. Therefore, it means that there must be no death in the scene. So the bus must pick up 10 people first, and the accident will happen later. On one more way, note the words before and after. After the word before is usually the past simple. After the word after is usually the past perfect. So this question, the answer is 4. And question number 2, because I live in Bangkok with my relatives. Oh, blank. Because the problem is I live in Bangkok with my relatives. which is present simple, which is subject, verb 1. Therefore, we should ask about the present. We can cut off option A and option B because both of them ask about the past. But option B is the affirmative sentence structure, and therefore answer C because it's a question sentence structure. So the answer is C. Let's move on to number 3. The question is up to present time she blank written her scientific report yet. Because the problem is, because there are keywords up to present time and yet, which are keywords of present perfect, which is subject, has, have, and verb 3, and yet can only be used with question and negative sentence. Do not use with affirmative sentence. So this one answer is C.
And number 4, while I blanked the internet last night, the computer suddenly blanked. This is about the past continuous tense and past simple. Past continuous, which is subject, was, were, verb, ing, is used to talk about an action that happened in the past and that is not over yet. Past simple, which is subject and verb 2, is used with intervening events. There is also a keyword. We have a technique that is the word while. After the words while and as is the past continuous. After the words when is the past simple. So, in the sentence, while I was surfing the internet last night, is an event that happened in the past and is not yet finished. So we answer was surfing past con, and suddenly the computer went off as an intervention event. So we use the past simple. So its answer is option C. Turning to number 5. No, Mr. John hasn't been in that office very long. By Christmas, he blanks there for less than 2 months. There is a keyword, the word by, which belongs to the future tense, so we omit choice B and C. And it has a keyword, that is the word for, belongs to the perfect tense. Its structure is has, have, and verb 3, and also has a duration of less than 2 months. So it has to be continuous. Therefore, it corresponds to the answer in option D. Is the future perfect continuous? Number 6. What are your future plans? I'm going to move out of the city as soon as I blank. This is about future tense and present simple, which is subject and verb 1. The keyword as soon as indicates a future time. Subject and verb to be, going to, and verb infinitive is the structure of the future simple tense, which corresponds to I'm going to move out in the question. So we use present simple or verb 1, graduate. Therefore, its answer is option A.
Moving on to number 7. The question is, in spite of popular support, the radio program blank off the air very soon. The keyword soon indicates a future time, and the radio program cannot do anything by itself. The radio program must be done by something which requires the passive form in the future simple tense, subject, will, be, and verb 3. So the answer is option B. And number 8. The question is, the questions to the board blank in a belligerent tone by the stockholder. The subject of this sentence is the questions, which is the plural subject, and to the board is just an complement to complete the sentence. Therefore, the subject is plural, so the verb must be in plural form, which is were. And in the question, use the structure of a passive voice because it is done by the stockholder. So we use subject, was, were, and verb 3, which is the passive form of the past simple. So the answer is option C. Turning to number 9. The question, strange things blank by seemingly reasonable people under stress. Strange things is the plural subject, so the verb must use the plural form are. And the subject strange thing is done by people, so we use the passive form, subject, verb to be, and verb 3. The answer is option D. Let me elaborate further about the last one, number 10. The question is, the commissioners assured the crowd that the problem blank care of as soon as possible. As soon as indicates a future time, so we can cut option A and B. And the problem must be done by something, so we use passive form, subject, will, be, and verb 3. So the answer is D. This is based on our findings about tense. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for your presentation, right? Okay, good. Again, right? Okay, so for a group presentation, just submit, just send the PDF file into the line group, okay? เดี๋ยวส่ง PDF ไฟล์เข้าไปใน line group ด้วยนะครับครับ
You mean our Canva, right?
Yeah, can you convert the file to be PDF file and then put into the
Yes.
line group? Yeah, okay, right.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So now, yeah, good. So thank you so much for a group presentation. So I think that the first part of presentation is all about like tenses and passive form, right? And we can see from part 5 and part 6 in the TOEIC test, incomplete sentence or things like text completion, we can do with some kind of like grammar, which is focusing on the tense, right? Okay, maybe present tense, past tense, or future form, and also that you have to understand the text properly in order to make sure that you put the right one into the right blank when it comes to do testing. All right. So done for group presentation, right? Everyone is here with me, right? Okay, now shall we move to the first activity for today's class? We're going to have 2 activities for all of you to do so. It's kind of like interactive activity. It's all about discussion part. Okay, so just because I think that this one might be really important to prepare your thinking skill before we start doing the conversation or even the listening test for the conversation. I'm going to say that you can see from the slide that we're going to have 2 parts, right? Scenario A and then scenario B, okay? So first of all, what you need to do is that you have to think about the situation that is related to what's going to happen or, see in the future. I mean, take place or happen into the, international context, okay? My first scenario is that what you need to do is that just predict, okay? Just predict problems or even issues that can happen in the international company. So for example, like if you do or you are going to work with international customer, you're selling something, buying something there. This is kind of like collaboration or collaborative work or connect to each other, right? What kind of problems that you can think of it? I mean, you can raise some example and then try to explain or share the idea to your classmate here, right? If you choose number one, just focus on the problem that happened in the international companies, okay? Second, when we see from the scenario B, what you need to think is that you have to predict or assume particular problem or is a problem that happened. But here I'm going to say that just because I just said that if you happen to a delay or delivering product, not timely, I mean, very delay or it caused a problem to the customer. If you are the agent or if you are the one who have to responsible for it, right? How can you handle or solve this kind of problem together, right? Imagine again, right? For example, you have to make sure that you give a clear example. For example, like if I doing a Shopee, I selling something to the customer and then the product has not been delivered yet. So how could you handle this kind of situation if some of your customer complain it to you? All right, everyone agree, right? Understood? If you understood, ทุกคนพิมพ์ X นิดนึงใครเข้าใจแล้วพิมพ์ X เข้ามานิดนึง I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. Just think about it, right? This is a floor and opportunity to explain your thinking skill, right? Before we start learning to the TOEIC test together. Again, right? I'm going to give you for 5 minutes here to prepare for this. Once you again, right? อันนี้เสียงมาหรือยังเสียงมาหรือยังเหมือนไม่ค่อยชัดนะเนี่ย1 2 ได้อยู่นะ okay. Again, right? I'm going to give you for 5 minutes to prepare for this slide. Again, right? Just choose one out of two. If you choose A, saying something here. If you choose B, saying something here. So I hope that everyone can participate in this kind of activity. Yep. All right. I think some of you may have the idea to choose one out of two here and then just share the idea to your classmate, right? Anyone want to do volunteer? The first one for today class? Mm-hmm.
Teacher, may I?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Okay, I choose the letter B
All right.
for the handle with the delivering. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that maybe we can charge them price, give charge the delivery company for delaying. For yeah, and we have to apologize to our customer that we couldn't get the product on time.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Mm.
All right. And then you just mentioned that it is important to chart the delivery company when it comes to solving a problem, just because so you direct to transportation or deliver might cause a problem here. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing here. Just type done into the chat box for me,
Okay.
please, and just type done for me, please. Okay, good. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your sharing the ideas here. Just because I would say that just think about it. Just because I do believe all of you have a thinking skills, especially critical thinking or even problem solving skills here, right? So anyway, we use a language to communicate. So meaning that if you can improve thinking skill and analyze the idea from time to time, I think it could be really effective for all of us to sharing. And also, I would appreciate for your participation too. Yep. Yeah. All right. Anyone want to share the idea here? We're gonna have time a bit just because I hope that you guys can do things like give interesting activity together. If you're ready, you can turn on the microphone here and then just share the idea to your classmate here.
I will choose A
A,
for
good.
collaboration of teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
When the teamwork have a problem, I think we should to go to talk with each other half, and we shouldn't have double standard. We should listen all the opinion and analyze that which solution is suit for our teamwork.
Great. And that's a great idea for you. Okay, just type done first, right? Okay. To make further clarification that one of your friend or classmate here raised the example of collaboration or teamwork, right? Just because when it comes to have a problem, we have to negotiate or try to solve the middle way, right? So how can I say? We cannot even cross the other side or just respect to each other too. And he just mentioned that double standard can be take place into the international company too. What I'm saying here is that it can be happen from time to time, but I would say that when we see the guideline of respect to each other and understand the similarity or differences while working to each other, I can say that those problems can handle with to high extent if you're gonna have to show some sincerity or even respect to each other, right? So a lot, I would say that those problems can be solved in the international context too. Good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. done ใครอยากพูดต่อ volunteer เลยนะ เราไม่มีการบังคับนะ เพราะว่าแบบให้เราพร้อมนะ if you're ready just turn on the microphone if you're not just listen to your friend first okay yeah yeah
May I?
Yep.
I choose the B situation, the shipping delay. I think the shipping delays are common to see, like maybe it's because the transit or weather change. So if you are the customer, maybe you can keep checking your track of the product and has communication with the seller. But if you in the situation of seller, maybe you can offer special deals to customer for the delay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type done to me, please. Okay, everyone can get someone turn on the microphone here, right? ใครนะเมื่อกี้ยังเปิดได้นะครับไปเลย If anyone want to share, you can turn on the microphone here. Just choose A or B, and then try to say or talk to your classmate here. Go ahead.
I choose situation B.
Situation B, good. Wow.
I think we should contact the shipping company to track the
Right.
goods
Mm-hmm.
and check where there is an error and hurry to notify the customer as soon as possible.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas here. Yeah, I do agree with you too, just because when a problem happens, for example, if you're selling something online, let's say if you're selling some cosmetic product through Shopee or Lazada, right? And after that, a customer just complained to you that, oh, why not it reached to me yet? Is that delay, things like that, right? Okay, so what you need to do is that to just track your number and just give the important information that they can track the number. But normally I think that they can do that, and maybe even more worse for them is that is about the transportation or delivery, right? Delivery system might cause a problem too. Anyway, one of your friends just raised the topic, possible solution is that try to connect with customer as much as possible. This is a key for try to convince. It's not that convince. How can I say? Again, try to inform, right, the customer that what is going on and what should be done to solve this kind of problem together. Yep, done เข้ามาแล้วขออีกสักคนหนึ่งฮะเดี๋ยวเราเปลี่ยน floor เป็น Q2 ต่อ Anyone want to share the idea ฮะ
ผมก็ได้ครับ
Okay.
I choose A. Cultural differences about greeting. For example, greeting in USA, people will shake hands, but in Japan, people will bow. มันออกเสียงยังไงครับ BOW
BOW
ที่โครงคำนับอะครับ
Okay. Yep. Bow, right?
Bow,
Okay.
ใช่ไหม โอเค
All
ครับ
right. See, thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type done for me, please. All right, he raised some situation that when it comes to have a various international people working together in international company or workplace, right? Yeah, so meaning that when it comes to see some difference from the Eastern culture or even Western culture, so it seems to us that we have to deal in different approach or the way that we act to them, kind of like we have to make sure that it is going to be appropriate and realistic in that way or not. So for example, like for when it comes to talk about our let's say like a Thai culture, we have to respect for each other as a seniority too, right? So this is kind of a problem too when it comes to Japanese or even Chinese people. They quite have a similar and different interest in terms of like the way they approach to each other. I can say that it's all about like how to adapt to each other, and sometimes that we have to have a good skill to make sure that it's going to be great from time to time. Yep. พอแล้วแหละนะเดี๋ยวเราเบื่อนะฮะ Again, just because I just mentioned to you that we're going to have 2 interactive activities via discussion part for today. This one is kind of prediction and assume something. Just because when it comes to your TOEIC test, you have to use and try to apply this kind of skill into your own test. And I would say that you are going to do if you can predict something, right? That is happen in the real situation. Okay, moving to the another discussion part for you. I'm going to divide it into A, B, C. So for this one is that actually I just want you to group A, B, C, and then you have to share all the idea from that and just let you do a small like talk or presentation there, right? So here, okay, anyway, you can choose 1 out of 3 here that is related to the information of like TOEIC test. Okay, first of all, you can see like the first question deal with listening comprehension or listening skills, right? So my question to all of you is that do you think listening skills are effective for face-to-face communication or instant communication here? For example, like through meeting, right? Face-to-face meeting, video conferencing, we have to open up the camera and try to connect to each other, or even telephone message, which is very important that you have just only listen a voice, right? How? Okay, so here, when it comes to talk about a listening comprehension or listening skill, right? We can see like there are some kind of challenges or difficulties while listening to different accent, different pronunciation, which is not standard English pronunciation, right? So I can say like for some Indian, let's say Indian accent or Filipino accent, so international accent that is may not be the one that you can be understandable, right? So what would you like to do, or is that necessary to have this kind of thing, right? Second, you can see from this is focusing on the reading part, which is mainly, be found in the TOEIC test, especially when it comes to the reading test. I can say that, do you think reading skills are necessary for the email or written report, newsletter, and other forms of business correspondence here? So here is about, you have to, go into the detail that why we need to understand the email, why we need to write such an email, or what kind of a purpose that intend to write an email, or even a written report from a company, for example, like the notice or memorandum that asks everyone to agree in terms of terms and conditions. And also the way that business correspondent, for example, like if you have to write some release on new magazine to other people to connect to you, in terms of understanding to each other. So my follow-up question is that reading skill is important for anyone, right, in the business context or not, right? And how can you improve the reading skill to be better? Okay, so we can deal, if you choose A, just talk about listening skill. If you choose B, just talk about reading skill, right? And after that, this is overall, right? Both listening and reading skill here. So my question to all of you is that, do you think TOEIC score can advance your future career as English as language for global opportunity, or it can open chances for international company or international works? how, right? For example, like if you got a very impressive score, for example, you got 900 from your TOEIC score or 800 above from your TOEIC score, I can say that it is an opportunity for all of you to get a chance to get accepted from the, working recruitment process. And this one is very important to all of us to see and try to share the idea why you need to have a good score from your TOEIC and what makes you you can become a successful person in the career opportunities in the futures, right? Okay, good. Thank you so much for everyone understood, right? ใครเข้าใจทำไงดีพิมพ์หนึ่งได้ไหมพิมพ์หนึ่งก่อนนะครับ just because I want to make sure that everyone understood what I'm saying here, right? Again, I'm going to give you for 5 minutes here, right? So direction is that choose first, choose A, choose B, or choose C, if you prefer to choose, right? And try to share the idea based on your own understanding. That's it. เดี๋ยวให้เวลา5 นาทีนะครับเลือกมาแค่หนึ่งนะเลือก A เลือก B เลือก C แล้วก็พูดแค่นั้นเองนะฮะเดี๋ยวเสร็จจากนี้ไปเดี๋ยวเราเบรกละโอเค
อาจารย์คะคนที่ตอบคนที่ดอนไปแล้วอะค่ะต้องตอบอันนี้อีกไหมคะ
ได้นะเพราะว่าเราจะเปลี่ยนให้พิมพ์คำว่า perfect ต่อ โอเคไหม หมายถึงว่าใครที่อยากพูดเนี่ยเราสามารถแชร์ได้หมดเลยนะมันเป็น floor interaction เฉยๆคือออนไลน์เนี่ยต้องพยายามforce ให้นิสิตพยายามพูดนิดนึงไม่งั้นมันจะน่าเบื่อนะฮะแต่คีย์ของอาจารย์ก็คือว่าอาจารย์คิดว่ามัน relate กับ TOEIC อยู่แล้วแค่ว่าอยากจะฟังว่าเราใช้ภาษาอังกฤษเป็นยังไงบ้างแค่นั้นเองไม่ต้องไปซีเรียสเรื่องดันกับพวกนั้นนะฮะอันนั้นคือเป็นwillingness to a participation แค่นั้นเองนะครับ don't worry be happy yeah so again right if you have done for the first part of discussion already I think it is an alternative chance for you to do again just because I think for this one it might be relevant to the TOEIC test for sure just because we deal with the skills required here right listening reading and then a TOEIC score ใครพร้อมแล้วเปิดไมค์ได้เลยนะครับ
I choose C.
C, right? Why?
Yeah, I think the TOEIC score matter in the future because we cannot deny that when we want to work internationally, we have to prove our skill that we have enough skill to work with the international companies. And the best way to prove that is the score, and TOEIC is the one of biggest score that can prove us that we have enough of skills to work with.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type perfect. เปลี่ยนซีนนะ perfect. Just type perfect into the line group, please. Okay. So one of your friends said that when you get a better score from your TOEIC, so it seems that it is one of the two to evaluate your skill or performance in language use. Is that right? Meaning that for the international company, they are asked you to perform yourself for that skill, especially reading, writing, speaking, or even listening in the international context. So this may bring the opportunity to be more selective in the international company here. Done. Perfect. อ่านไปละหนึ่ง All right. If anyone want to share, right, the rest of you can share. Right.
Okay. So I choose C too.
Why?
Because I have to say that it is 100%. That TOEIC score is advance my future career because most of it is most of company standard. And I think like we need to make TOEIC score like 800 up. So we need to productive about the TOEIC score.
All right, good. Thank you so much. So much fun. Just type perfect into the line group, please. Okay, good. One of your friend again, just remind all of us that TOEIC score is very, very important for 100%. I could say it is possible too. When we talk about international company, they require you to submit the TOEIC score. But some of the company may not require that, but they can evaluate indirectly. I mean, they can ask you or interview you in English, and then they see how well you can speak English or you can use English properly. So this is very important too, just because I think that if you're going to have a TOEIC score right beforehand, it means that the second process, let's say like initial first interview or second interview might be not tough if you don't have any TOEIC score. Am I correct? I mean, like if you first part for the first one first, and then the second part, it might be not cause a problem more and more. That's it. Good. Thank you so much for sharing here. ใครต่อครับ
May I?
Yep.
I choose A.
A.
Yes, I think listening is like a very common form of communication, and it's one of the most important in daily life. And I think it's important to communicate like the following questions. That is, we get the right message and information, and send message or further information accurately and completely.
Good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type perfect into the line group, please. Good. She said that listening skills is very important. So I can say that the listening skill is a kind of an integral, or I can say a basic part for speaking skill too. I mean that when I personally, based on my experiences working with international company, right? I can say that the most difficult or challenging task is that listening skill, just because I have to pay attention a lot and look at the detail that what they are saying and try to comprehend or grasp the main idea when it comes to respond to the talk through verbal communication. I mean, speaking skill can be depend or rely on a listening skill. So I would say that if you are great or master enough to the listening skill, you can be able to do with lots of different action or a different situation that can come up with you later. And I would say that we can prepare for listening part, especially for the TOEIC. It's all about like a conversation, just because you can separate the sound from women and men and the way that they are talking about through spoken communication here. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing. Perfect. Anyone want to share here? Just choose 1, 2, or 3, A or B or C.
B should A.
แป๊บหนึ่งนะ เปิดไมค์ทั้งสองคนเลยก็ได้ครับเปิดไมค์ทั้งสองคนเลย ขยับไว้ก่อน582ก่อนก็ได้ครับโอเคมา
I think because it's our listening skill are weak, we may not be able to understand anything at all.
I see. Great. Done, right? Okay, just type perfect for me, please. Right. He just raised the problem of a listening skill, right? Just because when you don't even understand what they are saying, so meaning that you have a problem with your listening skill, or you can even catch the keyword from that listening. So this can cause that you are ineffective communication, right? I mean, like you cannot even respond to the talk just because you have poor listening skill here. Yeah, this is a very interesting point here. Another person that turned on the microphone there. ใครนะเมื่อกี้มาเลย Okay, good.
I choose A too.
Why?
If you can listen to what other person is communicating, it will make conversation or what other person wants to communicate is effective and without misunderstanding.
Good. Thank you so much for sharing here. So she said that listening is very important and is a key for effective communications here, right? Yeah, I do understand too. And I agree with you. That's all right. Anyone want to share? Because I can see that no one respond for B, right? For B here. If you want to share the idea for reading skill in business context, what would you say here? Anyone want to share from B boy? If not, I have to summarize the the conclusion for reading skill, right? I can say that reading skills are quite a little bit challenging just because we have to deal with vocabulary, right? In the written text. So basically, if you have a skill of a reading skill, you have got to know that you have got to know some of the vocabulary and grammar part first, and after that you can grab the information from the email, written report, or newsletter here, right? And what we can master reading skills that you have to read a lot. I mean, try to expose yourself to the reading sources, for example, like online reading, internet forums, I can say, or even magazine, newsletters, things like that. It is very important to improve this kind of reading skill, just because if you can get the ideas, you can develop speaking skill too, or even you can develop the way that you can write and convey the meaning in a straightforward way. What I'm saying here is that this is very important and is a key part for achieving a TOEIC score too. Just because when it comes to do the test for the TOEIC test, you have to have a good skills. I mean, you have to have a good skill at reading techniques. For example, like skimming and scanning, right? For such an email or written report, so you can see like you just only want to understand the main point. It doesn't mean that you have to read the whole paragraph. Am I correct? So this one might be a key for prepare you for effective tip or strategy or hands-on strategy that we can come up with the best score from the reading part here. Yep, it's all about today for discussion part. ทุกคนโอเคไหมฮะโอเคพิมพ์โอเคพิมพ์โอเคนิดนึงจะไปเบรกละ all right เดี๋ยวขออนุญาตเบรกนะครับ shall we break for I just want for let's say now 25 right for 15 minutes ได้ไหม15 minutes เบรกยาวๆนิดนึงนะครับ just because I think like next part is all about like TOEIC test and the core content for listening, reading, and grammar, right? So I just want you to take a break first. Let's go for break and see you again at maybe 2:40 นะ 2:40 แล้วกัน sorry PM เดี๋ยวเราไปเบรกกันแล้วกันนะครับ อือฮึเป็นไงบ้างยังอยู่ไหมฮะโอเคใครอยู่กดอะไรดี XY ไหมฮะลองกด XY หน่อยเผื่อว่าจะได้เห็นว่าใครอยู่ที่นี่บ้าง XY ดีมาก มีคน XY เข้ามาแล้ว XY นิดนึง XY นั่นนะโอเค จะได้แบบรวดเร็วทันใจ วันนี้ปิดเร็วนิดหนึ่งได้นะครับพอดีว่าไอจะให้เราไปทำแป๊บหนึ่งนะ เดี๋ยวขอดูกันเดี๋ยว XY เข้ามาก่อน I see block number 2 right block number 2 block number 2 all right I think all of you are here together and I hope you guys okay with the previous one discussion and presentation part so mainly for my teaching instruction I just slot for half an hour in each item right the first one is that you have to do a sum of presentation in each week so we run from week 3 4 5 6 and before midterm right and then after that after midterm and then we can run the schedule class like that and after that I'm going to let you brainstorm or just show your thinking skill bit through the discussion part this is kind of like interactive activity they just provide to you and after that if we spend time together you can explore the idea and sharing learning activity together and after that, I think I should go into the core detail of the practicing TOEIC test. So here, I can say that I just want to make sure, I just send the link into Zoom, right? So if I just switch the listening part into the end of the part first, because I just want to give an overview of how to do a practice test here. For example, like I do understand that listening part 3, conversation. Okay, I just sent you, everyone can see from the line group, right? This is the source of the link from the YouTube and then just focus on part 3. You can practice again, maybe at as your homework. But I just want to say that you have to practice 2 times. The first one is that when you practice, you can list the answer and you can mark the answer based on your own understanding first and try to do in each part indifferently. I mean, for example, like if you come up with the first part 1 and 2 and done for that and check the answer, right? And second, if you have to go through with part 3, right, conversation, and once you finish you can see the score, what you got or what you got corrected from that part, right? So I think it is important to be focused on part 3 conversation and part 4 talks, right? Anyway, a second time that you have to practice again is that you have to recheck the correct one or even mistake one, right? I'm going to suggest you all of you that you can do by listen again, right? Listen again. But anyway, you can put the subtitle or even lyric right between the line and then see why you did a mistake and why you get corrected. You know what I mean? So this kind of 2 version of practice listening skill. All right. I think I can let you do as a homework for part 3, right? I just sent you the link into the line already, and you just focus on 32. Let's say the question 32, right? Until 70. It's okay? Homework now, okay ไหมโอเคพิมพ์โอเคเดี๋ยวเราไปทำโจทย์ reading ต่อมาครับทำโจทย์ต่อเลยใครตอบถูกพิมพ์เข้ามาเลย1 2 เป็นไงบ้างเรามาทำโจทย์กันนะครับ alright so for this one right part 5 I'd like to how can I say I'd like to apologize for the noise on level 2 which is due to maintenance work was carried out on the premises to be carried out on the premises being or even being ตอบข้อไหนดีตอบพิมพ์เข้ามาแล้วผิดถูกช่างมันนะฮะแต่ให้พิมพ์ไว้ก่อนใครคิดว่า A พิมพ์ A เข้ามาเลยใครคิดว่า B ก็พิมพ์ B เข้ามาเลยไม่ยากนะฮะเป็นไงบ้างตอบได้นะนี่มีคนตอบแล้ว B ทำไมถึงคิดว่าเป็น B เอ่ย Why นะฮะข้อนี้มันจะยากนิดหนึ่งนะให้เราสังเกตยังไงฮะ which ตัวนี้มันมี is อยู่แล้วใช่ป่ะ is being carried out ถ้าได้กับ is ไป is being อันนี้ไม่ได้อยู่แล้ว is to be carried out ไม่ได้เพราะว่า is เนี่ยมันต้องตามด้วย being คำว่า to be ต้องเป็น need to be done หรือว่าแบบ hope expect to do something to be done นั่นก็หมายความว่าข้อนี้ตอบ being ทุกคนพิมพ์ C อาจจะยากนิดหนึ่ง tricky หน่อยแต่ให้คิดก่อนนะฮะเราเฉลยให้อยู่แล้วไม่ยากgoodพิมพ์ C ตามเลยครับพิมพ์ C เลย C ต่อครับข้อ2พิมพ์ C เข้ามาก่อนนะข้อ2ตอบข้อไหนดีอ่ะยูThe organizers of fundraisers to the list hand out volunteers อันนี้ organizer SV agreement หรือว่า subject plus verb agreement ถูกไหมครับนั่นก็หมายว่า organizers ต้องเป็น R ไปหา R ครับ1 2 3 4ตอบข้อไหนดีต้องดีแล้วแหละนะอันนี้ง่ายครับพิมพ์ดีเลยรัวๆเลยนะเหมือนเราสั่งของช้อปปี้ตัวเดียวกันนะครับเก่งมากmove ครับเราจะได้ปิดไวๆนะครับ I regret to อะไรครับ that your order will be delayed for 3 weeks say update inform แล้วก็ report อันนี้ไม่ยากครับตอบข้อไหนดีถ้าไม่ยากตอบได้อยู่แล้วนะ inform ไหม inform ถูกไหมฮะ inform ตอบ C ป่ะต้อง C แล้วแหละพิมพ์ C ครับsay อาจารย์ก็พิมพ์เหมือนกันนะครับต้อง participation แค่นั้นแหละonline track นะครับไปครับ The Mr. Chen was surprised by promotion because had no imagined that it could happen this year because he himself แล้วก็ him he เนาะอันนี้เป็น pronoun reference เข้าใจนะมันถือว่าตัวนี้ Mr. Chen ถือว่าเป็น noun อยู่แล้วเราต้องการ pronoun เพื่อ refer ถึงคนเดียวกันตอบ C ครับพิมพ์ say move ครับ move 5 และ 6 ครับผม We noticed that the payment for EU electricity bill is overdue. Please note that payment is not received within 7 days. Your power will be cut off. อันนี้ข้อไหนดี Until ได้ไหม if unless whether or not whether ไม่น่าจะได้ cross unless แหละครับ unless คือ if not อยู่แล้วถูกไหมถ้าไม่มันจะตีกันไม่ได้เหลือ A B ถ้าเหลือ A B until ไม่ได้ if แล้วแหละตอบข้อไหนครับ B เก่งมากครับเนี่ยพยายามพิมพ์นิดนึงนะฮะฟังตามแล้วก็พิมพ์ด้วยเราจะได้แบบ get to the point Since the report has not yet been อะไรดีครับอันนี้ been จับ passive form ใช่ไหมฮะ passive form ไม่ยากครับ ed หา ed เจอกัน1 2 3 4ตอบข้อไหนดี C พิมพ์ตามเลยครับใครไม่พิมพ์ไม่ให้ A นะฮะตอนนี้มีกี่คนทั้งหมด18 คนนะฮะจาก30โอเค good ไป7 และ 8 เลยนะ secretary take a minute is that right take a minute take ช่อง2คืออะไร to make had แล้วก็ did ต้องเป็น to นะครับตอบ A นะ A เก่งมากพิมพ์ได้นะพิมพ์ได้นะครับdon't worry be happy ต่อครับonce account has been อีกแล้วเมื่อกี้บอกว่า been ตามด้วย ed ใช่ไหมให้มา ed หมดเลยครับ1 2 3 4ทำไงดีแปลใช่ไหมถ้าต้องแปล created เป็นคำตอบครับใช่ป่ะตอบ A พิมพ์ A ก่อนพิมพ์ A ก่อนนะครับเดี๋ยวไปไวเกินหรือเปล่าเนี่ยช้าๆหน่อยก็ได้ใช่ไหมใครอยากได้ A พิมพ์ A นะฮะไปครับ5 และ 6 9 และ 10ครับผมวันนี้น่าจะมี20 ข้อนะ everyone is okay right I like to show all of staff who volunteer to help out the charity evening approval awareness credit แล้วก็ appreciation อันนี้แปลงเดียวตอบข้อไหนดีดีเก่งมากครับเริ่มเคาะละน่าจะได้ A ทุกคนแล้วแหละ Lockdown branch of Gin Burgers has outperformed the chain of our location in the city progressive หรือเปล่าใช่ไหมลองพิมพ์เข้ามากัน progressively เก่งมากครับ B-boy พิมพ์ตามเลยนะครับ next 11 12ครับผม those who volunteer to work at the festival will giving free t-shirts and gift certificate out of appreciation right ตอบข้อ C พิมพ์ C ครับเก่งมาก this meal served as night meal take and a long time to cook พิมพ์ได้นะฮะพิมพ์ C เลยพิมพ์ได้ตลอดไม่ต้อง worry ข้อนี้ตอบอะไรข้อ12ลองคิดก่อนแล้วก็พิมพ์เข้ามาผิดถูกช่างมันไม่ต้อง worry นะฮะเพราะอาจารย์เฉลยอยู่แล้วตอบ relatively สังเกตนะ time ตัวนี้เนี่ยเป็น noun long เป็น adjective เพราะฉะนั้น relatively เป็นก็คือดีนั่นเองนะครับ sit ไปครับ13 และ 14 After much discussion about the office show internet connection I'm sorry slow show so it was decided that solution would be a find different provider simplest right because the article 1ใช่ไหมตอบข้อไหนครับดีเก่งมากดีไหมดีแล้วแหละนะโอเคยังไม่จบครับอยู่ไปครับข้อ14 Luxus location lotion available blah 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 store that cannot be found anywhere else อันนี้หา adverb แต่ว่าขอความหมายใช่ไหม heavily moderately exclusively แล้วก็ additionally C เก่งมากครับพิมพ์ตามเลย C 15 และ 16 ครับผมมา Mr. Cheng asked the other board members to think about they would like to nominate as the next chairperson whom which that แล้วก็ whose ข้อนี้สังเกตว่าเรามีคำว่า they would เป็น SV ถูกไหมฮะ SV คือ subject plus verb นั่นแหละนั่นก็หมายความว่าตัวที่ต้องเป็นก็คือ whom เท่านั้นเก่งมากครับพิมพ์ลองพิมพ์เกรดครับทุกคนลองพิมพ์เกรดตัวเองครับ Elevator, evaluator. The evaluator found Mr. Benning was highly at a leading group and suggested he begin training for a managerial position. Persuasive, grounded, confidential, capable of ตอบข้อไหนครับ capable of ถูกไหมใช่ป่ะถูกไหมทุกคนลองคิดตามนะฮะดีมากครับต่อครับ17และ18ลองทำดูก่อนลองพิมพ์เข้ามาก่อน Several complaints about the new security system. Chambers Corporation has decided to continue using it for now, in spite of big chaos except for like a close to. เก่งมากครับพิมพ์ตามเพื่อนเลยเนี่ยมีคนเฉลยให้เราแล้วนะ Even if presenting a case to the board, Mr. Wright failed to persuade them to invest in the development project. Ruling, shifting, convincing, limiting ตอบข้อไหนดี shifting, convincing, limiting น่าจะเป็น C ป่ะ C แล้วแหละใช่ไหมพิมพ์ C ครับผมข้อนี้เป็นการวัดความหมายจะยากนิดนึงแต่ว่าไม่เกินความสามารถเท่าที่ดูแล้วนะอีกนิดนึงครับมาฮะ19และ20ทำก่อนตอบข้อไหนครับ Bank officer that it would take Mr. Gordon 2 more years to settle his remaining debt is he continue to repay it ตอบข้อไหนดี calculated เก่งมากครับตอบ C 20ครับ purchasing manager can only order part of companies that have found many of list approval suppliers ตอบข้ออันนี้ยากให้คิดก่อนถ้ามันยากต้องคิดแล้วแหละเก่งมากครับโหได้ทุกคนแน่เลยดูทรงละ That's it right เดี๋ยวให้ทำหน้านี้ให้เวลานะครับแล้วทุกคนทำ3ข้อใครที่ทำเสร็จแล้วนะฮะพิมพ์คำตอบเข้ามาในแชทบ็อกซ์ได้เลยโอเค นี่มีคนตอบเข้ามาแล้วขอบคุณมากครับ alright สำหรับข้อนี้นะฮะเราสังเกตได้เป็น text completion นะครับ3ข้อด้วยกัน we've been by one of our client ต้องเป็น reported ถูกไหมเพราะว่าเขาพูดถึงอีเมลต้องเป็น report นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นคำตอบลงไปที่ B boy เก่งมาก ต่อนะครับ ตัวนี้ถ้าสังเกตแล้วเนี่ยมันเป็น present participle due to arrive on Jakarta blah 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 failing to do so มันต้องเป็นสำนวนพวก failing to do so ถูกไหมฮะนั่นก็หมายความว่าถ้ามันเป็น failing to do so เราต้องตอบข้อไหนดีต้องเป็น C cat อาจจะ tricky นิดหนึ่งนะฮะไม่เป็นไรแล้วสุดท้าย has been อะไรดีครับ has been delay อันนี้ตรงถูกไหมถ้าเป็น has been delay ตอบข้อไหน delay คือตอบ A นะ that's it นะครับสรุปก็คือว่าตอบ B C แล้วก็ A that's it ทีนี้คิวสุดท้ายของเรานะครับไม่มีอะไรมากก็คอนเซ็ปต์ก็ประมาณนี้นะครับฝากทบทวนแล้วกันแล้วก็จำให้ได้ว่าต้องตอบกันประมาณไหนนะครับ do you think 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 อันนี้ไม่มีอะไรโอเคไปครับทีนี้เหมือนเดิมเลยก็คือให้เราทำคำศัพท์นะครับหา synonym alright shall we move to the last section for today we can finish the class at 3:30 and the rest if you have time you can practice listening skill right just because I think that for listening skills it takes about maybe 20 minutes that's it yeah so for this one, right? So you can see vocabulary in context here, right? I'm going to let you find out the synonym, right? In each word, right? You can see from complexity, complement, complementary, consequences, considerable, confirmation, confusion, compulsory, conceit, and then compromise. That's all, right? Second, you can see from this one, correction, consistent, constantly, consultant, construction, consumer, consignment, continuation, conveniently, convincing. Okay? And next is that this one, coverage, credential, contribution, cooperation, criticize, critical, currency, crucial, cutting edge, and commute. ทีนี้ถ้าเราหาเสร็จปุ๊บ30ข้อปุ๊บลองพิมพ์เข้ามาในแชทนะฮะจะได้ generate คำศัพท์กันเข้ามานะเดี๋ยวให้เวลาทำครับน่าจะประมาณสัก10 นาทีได้10 นาที that's it นะโอเค เป็นยังไงบ้างนะนิสิตนะฮะนักศึกษาจะปิดจ็อบหรือยัง alright if you finish or you done for vocabulary expansion synonym right for 30 word list here you can type yes for me here ถ้าเสร็จแล้วให้พิมพ์ yes นิดนึงนะฮะเป็นการ inform อาจารย์โดโดนะครับให้ปิดคลาสไวๆได้ไหม Alright, so the last section for all of you today is that what we are having now is that before you go, it is very important aspect to learn some grammar, right? Some grammar or how words can combine to each other, right? What can be combined to each other. I can say that the first one is that adjective plus noun is a collocation here. You just only choose one out of three. And then I just write and create a meaningful sentence. Meaningful sentence meaning that that other people can communicate, can be understandable, or what you are saying here, it must be understood, right? The first one is that regular exercise. If you choose this and then you try to write your own sentences and then just read it out loud, and then we can finish the class together for today's class. Maiden voyage, right? Or excruciating pain. This one is that a normal, and then this one would be like negative content, meaning, right? Okay, right? Everyone agree, right? Again, right? Just choose one of three. When you finish writing, just read it out loud, and then type like this. Type like this. Type perfect แล้วกัน yes แล้วกันนะฮะมา okay done right everyone understood right อยู่ต้องเปิดไมค์นะแล้วก็เดี๋ยวเราจะปิดคลาสแล้ววันนี้
Teacher, may I?
yeah right yeah
He got excruciating pain. Excruciating. Do I pronounce it right?
Yeah, that's correct. From what? From excruciating from
car accident.
From the car accident. Good, great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. You can leave from the Zoom right now. Once you finish or reading out, it's not reading out loud. Just talk to all of us today. You can leave in this Zoom. Yeah.
Teacher, may I?
Yeah. All right.
I do the regular exercise at home.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for your sharing. Yep. ใครอยากรีบออกไปนะ อยากรีบออกไปหมายถึงว่าใครรีบทำธุระรีบพูดเลยนะฮะเราจะได้ไปละ
Teacher, may I?
Yep.
I chose regular exercise.
Yeah.
He is taking regular exercise with his mom.
Right. Good. Thank you so much for sharing her. ให้ครบทุกคนนะห้ามไปไหนนะ ห้ามโกงด้วยคือสุดท้าย
I regular exercise at gym.
At the gym. Good. Thank you so much for sharing her.
May I?
Yep.
I did regular exercise last week.
Did regular exercise. Good. Thank you so much. Yeah.
On her maiden voyage, she was delayed.
Maiden voyage was delayed. Good. Thank you so much for your sharing. Next.ใครรีบไปไหนมาครับ right
He got the accident and have excruciating pain when he arrived the hospital.
I see. Excruciating pain when he arrived at the hospital. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Everyone have to do this kind of activities because you want to leave from this Zoom, right?
Can I?
Yep.
I always do the regular exercise every day.
Always do regular exercise every day. Yeah, great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. I try to repeat the word that you say just because I want to correct some kind of grammar or spelling here. Yeah. Next.
I don't usually regular exercise.
Why? I don't usually regular exercise because of boring, right? Okay, you don't have time, basically. Yeah, great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Next.
Can I?
Yep.
I had 2 hours of excruciating pain.
2 hours of excruciating pain. Why?
Because I study a lot of subjects.
A lot of set for today class. Is that right? Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Yeah, it can be possible here. Next. À, ใครอยาก leave จาก Zoom นะฮะเป็น floor สุดท้ายแล้วนะI
Can
just yeah, good.
I do regular exercise at home to control my weight.
All right, to control your weight, right? Great. Thank you so much for sharing here. Next, please, how many of us left for today class? Let me count first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Professor, before I go, can I ask about homework again?
Yeah. You can.
What we have to do?
So basically, for the homework, today class is just a listening test that I sent the link into the Zoom. Just focus on the question 32 until 70, you can say. Yeah, just because it is a part of part 3 conversation. Yeah. That's it. There is no homework much for the assignment. I can say that just English presentation, and you have to do midterm and final exam. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Next, please. How many of us 5 students have?
Can I answer? Okay.
Yep.
I have taken my amazing maiden voyage.
Amazing maiden voyage. Wow, great. That's it, right? Okay. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Next.
May I?
Yep.
I usually do my regular exercise on weekend.
Usually do regular exercise on the weekend. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Next, please. 2 คนสุดท้ายใช่ไหมเหลือกี่คน Done. Anyone want to share the idea here? That's it. That's all right for today. กับวิศรากับนันทวันหรือเปล่าไม่แน่ใจนะฮะAll right, I think it's time for us to finish a class just only this. Maybe you can do a homework. Is okay, right? All right. I'm going to stop screen and stop the class just only this and finish everything here. If you have any query, just take into the line group. This is only one way for communication in this class. Thank you so much for today's class and see you next week. Bye-bye.